Hello everyone, this is Randy, and this is a mid-June update on this application I've been kind of working on. It's called CasperAlly. I've tweeted about it, I've posted some videos behind it, shared it through Jamf Nation, but that was a little bit ago. I just kind of want to run through some of the updates that we see in the current version, which I've been beta testing, so if you're interested in getting a test flight invite to check it out, to give some feedback, definitely drop me a message. I'll have some contact information below. Feel free. So the app right now is in the, June revision, and it started out early to mid-February. And it was a way that I wanted to learn, first off, do a little bit of Swift programming. I've been wanting to learn that a little bit, so I thought this would be a fun project. And making the JSS instance a little less clicky. And what I mean by that is we're in an educational environment, so we use a good amount of configuration profiles that restrict certain aspects of settings. When we're trying to do some troubleshooting, for example, if your email password has been reset and we've disallowed allowing changes to accounts, it's really difficult to enter in your new password. So to do that, we had to kind of go through a lot of clicks within the JSS to remove the configuration profile that restricted modifying accounts. And this is a way that I was able to write an app that ties into the JSS APIs to do all this, quite honestly, from the comfort of your own phone. I just want to do a quick tour of the app. You'll see the color interface has changed a little bit to a more of a neutral, muted grayish blue. The other one was a little loud, and kind of trying to polish this a bit more. We see when we open up the app, the JSS, the username, and the group ID that we're configured for. If we need to modify any of these settings, we can tap Settings in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to have a new view that's going to pop into place where we enter in the URL of our JSS, the exception group ID, as well as our username and password to connect into the JSS. Now you might be wondering, what is this exception group ID? And I've talked about it a bit in the past in some of the other videos, but just as a quick refresh, when we build this out, we create a static group within our JSS. We grab the group ID from the URL bar, and that's used within this app. Now, the static group we scope as exclusions to our configuration profiles. In essence, what we're doing is we're saying we want to apply student settings to all of our student devices unless you're in this maintenance group. That way we can quickly and easily modify one group with one device without touching a larger group. Mainly just some safety reasons and saying if we were to have an error or something that's funky, we want to make it a very minimal amount of users impacted. So within here we have the ability to just tap on check. We'll see we checked and we verified the connection to our JSS, as well as verify our username and password. I tried to simplify the UI a little bit by using the border colors of buttons to give us some useful feedback. Green being it was successful, red being it was not successful, and orange is kind of a pending state. We have the ability to customize some of our notification settings for our status icons, because this is going to probably depend in your environment. If we want to have a threshold for battery, warning, and critical levels, as well as the amount of space used and the amount of critical space used. Now, I've bumped these really high up at this version right here, mainly just to get some UI pieces that don't consistently alert and look critical. Again, you can tweak these and see what they do. If you're ever wondering what a setting does, right now there's only one in here, but if you tap the little I next to the status icon configuration, we'll get some status icon help that's going to tell us what these mean. They are expressed as percentages, so just keep that in mind. If we've made any changes to this pane, we can tap Save in the upper left-hand corner, and that saves all of our settings within the application bundle on your device. Now I do want to mention the JSS password is stored within your keychain on your device. So it is secure, it's not stored in plain text on a text file. So we want to take a quick look at what can we do with this, and we have three ways we can pull up information about a device. We can do it based upon a username, a serial number, or an inventory number. I'm going to start out with the easiest one here. I'm just going to type in my username, and this is being used because we assign our devices to specific users. That way this is tied to a student, for example, or a staff member. When I tap the Look Up User button, we'll see that this device is going to pop in the serial number, the inventory tag assigned to it, as well as some basic information about our device. We can see that for this device we do not have any warranty expiration within the JSS. If you configure your JSS to talk to GSX to pull in warranty information, you'll see this information populate. And I can probably pull in another device later on that does have some information here. We'll see that this device very recently did pull in some inventory. We see Monday the 19th at 10 a.m. Just for fun, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tap the buttons down below where we can perform actions on these devices. We can update the inventory, we can send a blank push notification, we can restart or shut down the device. Now that is a iOS 10.3 or higher feature, as well as removing restrictions and reapplying restrictions. I'm going to do the first basic one of updating inventory. We'll see the border button change to that orange to kind of show it's in a pending state, as well as the green piece that says this was successful. I'm also going to do the aspect of sending a blank push, and if you've ever had a device where it's kind of stuck, it's sticking, it lists as there's applications that it needs to install but it's just not going, you can do the send blank push notification, which kind of fires off a push to say, hey, go check in. We found that really successful in our environment when we have some apps that are stuck or students experiencing something not really working as expected. From the management side, we can do that. I'm just going to push that, show what it looks like, and that's the basics of what I want to do within this view. Now, I'm going to clear our interface out, and this time I'm going to use the next feature, which says Scan Serial Number. And I'm hoping the screen recording doesn't crash this time. If it does, I'm going to resume it right back where we left off. But within the app, I'm going to tap on, by inventory number, the Scan button. And it's going to open up a camera interface that's going to let us pop our scanner over our barcode, which is now put as an asset tag in our device. I'm going to tap up look up inventory number, and you're going to see now it has filled in the username since that wasn't provided, the serial number, all the same information. You'll also see our last inventory time is updated to 10:09 a.m. The last way we can look up a device, I'm going to clear these out, is by serial number. Now, this one's a little more challenging because it's going to require some OCR. To pull this information up, we're going to go on our device under Settings, under General, About. And that's going to pull up some of the information about our device. So I'm going to tap on Scan, and we're going to see that we have this little bar, and we can place it over the serial number of our device, and we can, hopefully with a very steady hand, tap Scan. Now, it's tried to pull it up. It didn't get it correctly. We can tap Scan again. Let's see if we can get it this time. So unfortunately, what we do see is the OCR aspect is a little tough. But what's nice is we see the serial number up here that it's done. If we tap Close, it's going to fill that in. Now, what is nice about this is it got most of it right. So we can just go back on here, remove the extra character, tap Look Up Serial Number, and we'll see we get some feedback. DMPPG6TFK10 does not appear enrolled in the JSS. Well, and that makes sense because that wasn't actually the serial number that this went ahead and scanned. So we're going to fix that. We're going to come back here. We're going to 6G. We're going to replace the T with our D7. And we'll see this time it's pulled up that information correctly. So what is nice is we have some built-in error handling. So if I put in an inventory number that's not found, it's going to tell us that inventory tag isn't found. If I do the same thing on a user, it's going to say this user does not have a device assigned to them. So that's the current state of this app, kind of where it is.